Hi guys, it's Baby Peach, and we're back again with another episode of Once Upon a Hallows Eve. I know last time it kind of froze up, so I'm hoping it doesn't happen this time. And we're just gonna hop right in. That's a little loud. Okay. Turn that music down a bit. Oh, let's just... Okay, there we go. Okay, Vern, it's okay. The boy Vern whimpers and looks back at me half pouting. Oh. Vaughn shakes his head looking disgusted at the turn of events. Whatever. With another roll of his eyes, Vaughn stomps out of the room looking quite pissed. Bye. I smile at Victor. Thank you. That's alright, you were just in time actually. Just in time for what? Dinner. Oh? If you could still spare the energy to walk, I'd love it if you ate dinner with us tonight. Wow, thank you, but I wouldn't want to intrude on you guys. I mean, you already fixed me up, so... I shrugged, pointing at my bandages. No, it's okay, I insist. It's my very own recipe, so I'd appreciate it if you give it at least a taste. And besides, I was a medical student. It's my job to take care of the injured. Oh, he has a medical background. That's cool. You sure it's okay? I really don't want to disturb you guys too much. Of course. Turning to Vern, he smiles. Vern, please. Vern helps me get out of bed and assists me as we walk out the door. He barely looks at me though, let alone speaks to me. I suppose he's just a really quiet kid. I look around me in wonder and amazement as we make our way through the house. I say house even though mansion would be a most suitable term. If there is one thing I was right about, it's this mansion's ancientness. Dirty old paintings hang in the dusty walls, making everything look like a mini palace. We pass through a large vacated room with a beautiful chandelier up above. Come to think of it, I think this place could have been a private office once. The four of us continue walking inside the house, and I realize how hollow and devoid of life the whole place seems. Here are three young men who seem to be at the peak of their lives, living in a decrepit old mansion in the middle of nowhere. Something about this strange setup gives me the chills. I glance at the three as we walk. They don't look any different or even dangerous, even though, especially Vern, the boy looks like he couldn't even hurt a fly. Finally, we arrive at the long dining table. To be honest, though, it looks nothing like a dining table to me. The shelves of books lined up against the walls aren't helping either. That table near the window is creepy. I can almost imagine someone sitting there and watching everyone as they ate. Victor tells us to take our seats wherever we want, and I end up sitting across Vern and Vaughn. Victor sits across from us. After a bit, he stands up to leave. I try to look questioningly at the other two young men, but Vern won't meet my gaze, and Vaughn is looking at me too sternly. Sighing, I just close my eyes. Victor returns after a few moments with a tray of food. He starts serving us quickly, much to my surprise. Oh, thank you. He smiles as he hands me a napkin. Can you eat without help, or do you need one of us to assist you? I feel an embarrassed blush creeping up on my face. Oh no, I'm fine. I can eat with my left arm, don't worry. Alright, if you say so. After he had finished setting the table, we all take a sip of the soup. Wow, you made this? It tastes wonderful. You think so? Ah, shucks. It's not bad. Not bad. I roll my eyes at the other guy's comments. It tastes really awesome. Turning to Victor, I smile. It's a good thing it's you who's cooking and not anybody else. I feel daggers go straight through my soul as Vaughn's steely gaze meets mine. I don't know if anyone would be able to not learn how to cook when they're always assigned to kitchen duty. Well, there are some people like that. And I'm not some people. He loves cooking, that's it. Hey, you love my cooking, don't you, Vern? It's not bad. Victor chuckles softly. The lull in the conversation gives me an opportunity to ask them about something that's been bugging me for a while now. I was just wondering, what are you three doing here? Vaughn suspiciously looks at me. What do you care? I flinch, forcing a smile to my face. Hey, it's the middle of nowhere. Of course we're somewhere. What do you think? But you're up in the mountains, so I... My voice falters and we all turn in the direction of Vern, who looks up at us with no expression on his face. Sorry. Without another word, he picks up the broken pieces of chinaware from the floor. Victor wipes his mouth with a napkin and sighs. Boys. He stops and sighs again. Vaughn gives me a death glare and I feel a shiver. Shaking my head as if to dispel the scary vibe coming from the blonde guy, I try to change the topic of conversation. Victor stops eating halfway, his spoon still in the air. Yes? I just wanted to thank you guys for taking care of me when I fainted. And for the bandages, of course. The first and the last brother both look at each other, while the middle one looks like he couldn't care less. After a pause, Vern just smiles softly at me. We're just glad to help someone out. Vaughn rolls his eyes. Oh, we can definitely help someone out. Victor shoots his brother a disapproving look. As I glance at Vaughn, I sigh to myself. I am so obviously unwelcome here. Me, my beauty, unwelcome? The nerve of these guys. Ugh, remind me to leave first thing in the morning. Hey, you. Huh? You leave first thing in the morning, okay? What? Hey, I have a name, you know. Victor chuckles, clearing his throat. He looks almost relieved somehow. Oh, that's right, it seems we forgot to properly introduce ourselves. I'm Victor. He looks at the other two expectantly, but I know that one of them is way too angry at me, while the other simply doesn't care enough to introduce himself to me. Victor's eyebrows furrow, but he just sighs and proceeds to introduce them himself. And these are my brothers, Grumpy Vaughn and Scaredy Cat Vern. I'm not grumpy. Vaughn protests, glaring at me. And I'm not a scaredy cat. Vern just blushes. Well, what do you know? Victor's eyes shines brightly as he smiles at me. And you? Peachy Lee. Peachy Lee. Yeah, I'm a half. Oh, a half. What, half annoying and half irritating? Or perhaps half an outsider and half an unwanted guest? I feel my eyes widen at his words. Without wanting to, I feel my eyes starting to well up with tears. His eyes darken all of a sudden as he looks me down. Or perhaps half living and half... Victor bangs his hand on the table, causing all three of us to look at him. That's not the right way to treat a lady, Vaughn. To my surprise, Victor suddenly interrupts his brother, giving him a death glare. I don't care. Why couldn't we just let her soul get lost for eternity? His voice sends shivers down my spine. Both Victor and Vern stare at their brother in horror. Wait, what did you just say? While I don't exactly understand the full extent of what he said, I could definitely feel that it wasn't anything good. The three brothers all look at me surprised. What? Vaughn, what did you say? Lost for eternity? Vaughn's eyes are still set harshly, but I see a hint of nervousness in his gaze. The youngest brother holds his utensils tightly. Oh well, time for bed. I don't like where the conversation is going. Let's just go to bed, guys. No, wait, Vaughn. What did you just say? Is there something about this place that I don't know about? Peachy, it's nothing important. But let's push it. I shake my head slowly, forcing a smile on my face. No, I heard Vaughn say something. It's okay, Vaughn, you can tell me. The said guy looks at me with an incomprehensible gaze. To my surprise, he just laughs, a little too forcibly if you ask me. Are you really that dense not to figure out a simple joke? A joke? In my mind, I know he's not saying the truth. That didn't sound like a joke, Vaughn. What is this place? Really? The three brothers look at each other again. I curse myself under my breath for not understanding their silent conversations. Vern glances at me worriedly, and I turn to Vaughn, certain that he's hiding something. Surprisingly, all I see in his eyes is rage. We took you in, so don't you dare question us about our home. Oh, she want to be kicked out again, out there in the rain. Take your pick. I clench my fist, trying to repress my anger. We'll stay. Victor told me I could stay here. I'm staying here whether you like it or not. I glance at Victor, whose eyebrows has risen up, making him surprised at my words. Vern seems to have noticed our bickering as well, and he looks at us with a worried look on his face. On the other hand, Bond's eyes are now spewing fire at me. Really now? Yes, and I'm not leaving unless your brother wants me to. He growls at me, slightly narrowing his eyes. Turning away from me, he looks at his brother threateningly. Vern glances at me, but goes back to eating his meal. As expected, Victor just shrugs, trying his best to look innocent. Don't tell me none of you are willing to kick her out. His question is greeted with silence. What, Victor, you're really going through with this? She's injured, Vaughn. You know I can't turn away people who need my help. I feel a burst of hope surge through me. Vaughn just scoffs at him, looking disappointed, much to my disgust. How could a person send away an injured person, I wonder? Vern, even you? He looks at his younger brother in surprise. You want to kick this outsider out? I find myself doing a little victory dance in my head as Vern shakes his head. I thought you didn't like outsiders. The younger brother remained silent, sipping his soup quietly. Fine. He crosses his arms and reclines back on his chair. So, have we finally settled this? I smile when Vaughn just rolls his eyes. Yes, we're fine. Yep, we're definitely fine. Vaughn just scoffs again and throws his napkin on the table, getting ready to stand up. Victor makes the surprised middle brother get back to his seat with a wag of his former index finger. What? The oldest brother sighs and glances at the youngest of the family. Nobody can leave the table unless everybody leaves. Except for some special cases. Victor smiles, and I realize that he's actually pretty cute. What the hell am I thinking? The oldest brother clears his throat, thankfully snapping me from my thoughts. Heard that, Vaughn? You're already 22, yet an 18-year-old can follow the rules better than you do. Vaughn glares at him. And you're only 23, Victor. Stop acting like you're so old. I'm your older brother, so of course I'm still older than you. Now get back down on your seat. Vaughn rolls his eyes, but nevertheless does as he's told. I do another happy little dance in my mind. A pretty evil happy dance. What are we waiting for anyway? Victor smiles at me. Room assignments. Vaughn's mouth falls open and Vern merrily looks at his oldest brother wide-eyed. Room? Yes. Victor, we have more than a dozen rooms in this place. Can we just push her somewhere where she can stay out of our way? I think it's a good idea to let her stay somewhere here, Vaughn. He answers slowly as if speaking to a young child who still lacked understanding. But she already slept in Vern's room, so I suppose it wouldn't be best if we let her stay there. And that's why Vern is going to stay in your room. Vaughn. In my what? Victor smiles devilishly at his brother. And where do you want me to stay? In the guest room. The middle brother brings his hand down on the table. You mean the unkept, unclean room? Victor nods happily. Too happily, if you ask me. Exactly. I'm sure you'll do a good job cleaning up. What? Victor doubts his lips with the napkin before smiling at his brother again. By the way, Fern has already assigned Peachy tonight. Since she's still injured, we should take turns helping her around. It's your turn now, Vaughn. The young blond man looks at his older brother in shock, as if he was unable to believe what was just said to him. Normally I wouldn't want to be helped by such a grumpy guy either, but I suppose I'm in a sadistic mood tonight. Hey, wait. I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Have a nice sleep. He signals for us to stand up, and he and Vern start walking towards one chamber of the place. Okay, guys. And with that, I'm gonna save this episode, and we will see what happens next time. That was dinner. Don't forget to follow all my other social media, Smokey_succubus, for Instagram, and babypeachanime for TikTok. Subscribe, like if you want more of this. You know the drill. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.